Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. It's your girl, Suzette Speaks, coming to you live on Jamaicans.com. I want to say big up yourself. I want to say wagwan. I want to say positive vibrations to the people who come in every Saturday to watch us and listen and chat. You know, the Suzette Speaks brand is about women's empowerment. And you know, I think they know. Let me remind you, we have a big event coming up on Saturday, March 16th. It's called the Speak Women's Empowerment Conference. Okay, I felt myself. All right, so you got to get your tickets. It's on Eventbrite, and we have 28 empowering women speakers, from judges to coaches, business women, giving you strategies to level up in 2019. It's going to be at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. So get your tickets. All right, plug is done. Today we're live. I got to tell them where we are. We're in Davie at the Nova Southeastern University. If you know South Florida, we're right off of University, and we're sitting by the library. We're trying to get the smart vibrations coming towards us. I feel smarter sitting here. But what's most important is who I'm sitting with. And she will be one of the featured panelists this year at the Speak Women's Empowerment Conference. Her name is Terisha Lee. Give her, big her up. And please don't be rude. Please say hello. I thank you guys for watching, tuning in, commenting, and sharing. All right, Terisha, I know we're outside. We're literally about maybe 10 miles from the airport, so you're going to hear a little plane or two every now and then, but we're going to work with it. So I want Terisha to tell us more about her business. She is the founder of Propensities, and I don't use that word very often. A lot of people don't know what it means. Propensity, she's going to explain it. By Terisha Lee. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's kind of hot, though, but hey, we're working it. So tell us about yourself, Mama.
So my name is Terisha Lee. I'm the founder of Propensities by Terisha Lee, which is a speaking and consulting firm. And what we do is we basically help people with their propensities, which is their habits, their characteristics, their everyday living, and how they can enhance their faith, their purpose, and ultimate success.
So when you say, I love this, on your description, she says she's a purpose advocate. I never really heard anybody call themselves a purpose advocate. What does that mean?
I'm a purpose advocate because I'm like people who come to you and say, you know, oh, here, I'm going to teach you how to do these steps, right? What I do as an advocate is I actually encourage you and show you how you can do it. I walk it with you. I actually go through the map of how to get to your treasure and not just tell you, okay, here, take this and go home. I advocate for you. If you've never had anybody on your corner, never had anyone on your team, I'm on your team.
I believe you, because listen, since I've started the Speak movement, Terisha has been there day one, and she was a speaker at our meetup prior, and I want to make sure as we get deeper into the conversation, she'll be talking about authenticity when we meet on the 16th at the Speak Women's Conference. But today, we were just chatting off camera about how we were going to help, particularly women. You know I love you, dudes. All my guys, you know I love you.
Yes.
But we're going to chat a little bit for the ladies, because a lot of times ladies have problems with relationships. And not only relationships, I'm not talking about the romantic kind. I'm talking about relationships with the same gender in terms of friendship, right? I'm not talking about agape. I'm not talking about eros. What is it? Philadelphus. Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Don't let me get the Latin. Philadelphus. Brotherly, and in this case, sisterly love. And sometimes we as women get into conflict with other women, not knowing how it even came about, and really sometimes having it reflect actual issues we have within ourselves. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how we can resolve conflict sometimes that we feel with other women. Terisha, do you see this in not only your life? We're not gonna say it's us. We try to be sisterly and love our sisters, but a lot of time women can't get along. Why? Terisha, can you just give me some of your thoughts on this?
It happens, unfortunately. It happens from time to time. And here's the thing. I think sometimes we have the best of intentions. We want our sisters to prosper and do well in relationships. So what we do, Suzette, is we tell people, let me just tell you about her in advance. Let me just tell you my experience with her.
So you have a friend, and someone else is meeting another friend. Sorry, a third person is going to meet her, but you have problems with her. So you're going to warn this person about her. You ever did that? Please drop a comment. Please be honest. Have you ever warned your girlfriend about someone in your sister's circle? And why do we do this?
Has somebody ever warned someone about you?
Yikes. Sometimes you be warning and somebody else is telling oh, be careful of her because, and they're talking about you. So why do we do that? Why do we try to preemptively make people feel a certain way about another individual? Why do you think this is?
So unfortunately, we like to create a definition of people based on our snapshot of their life. But we don't want people to do it to us.
My goodness.
So
if we need to get past, like, this is my thing. Nobody is perfect in this walk we're taking together on earth at this time. But a lot of times we can't seem to love people in spite of, let's call them idiosyncrasies, because we all have them in terms of friendships and relationships. But when you go to work, when you're forced to deal with people, you don't have a choice. Sometimes there are people that get on your nerves and they do this and they do that, but you still got to go to work with them and you deal with it. But in our personal relationships, sometimes we are much more, what should I say, short with people. And if they show you one little inkling of a maybe kind of unrefined characteristic, we cut them off. And I've been guilty. I don't know, have you been guilty of this, cutting off friendships, not even before they begin, but literally due to, maybe if you look back, something that is not as significant as we want to make it out to be? Why are we doing this? Are we trying to protect ourselves? What is the point of, in our personal lives, not trying to love people in spite of, but in our professional lives having to basically be required to do so?
It's almost like a skill that we're forced to have professionally, and sometimes we just get so exhausted from the going around of it that when it comes to our personal life, I don't want to deal with it. I have to deal with it all day at work. I don't want to deal with it.
We keep it too real. So are there ways in which we can love an individual even though we start seeing that there are these things that we might not like in another woman, but they're not really, I would call them not lying, not really a bad spirit or mean spirit. I'm not talking about deal breakers. I'm talking about things that are like, she talk a lot, or she always talking about her ex-boyfriend, or she just wants to be heard. Sometimes she don't want you to have a solution. You ever have girlfriends like this? I'm like, but I'm offering you a solution. Oh wait, you just wanted to vent.
You just want to talk.
Yeah.
Okay,
So how do we decipher when to actually give a person a chance?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about that. I think as women, we have to learn how to allow our experiences to be our experiences. One of the worst things we can do is push our own agenda on our sisters. And say, because this was my experience, it's going to be your experience too.
Have you ever had a situation, and this is in Terisha Lee business, where you have met somebody that rubbed you the wrong way initially, but then y'all became friends after? Yep. Stepping on the toes. I love it.
Yes, I have.
Give me the example.
I have had,
just in case you're watching, but don't name.
I won't name any names. No names, and I won't even admit it. You know, I'll just say hypothetically speaking. How about that?
Of course.
Hypothetically speaking, I have had some people who came into my life for one reason or another, and that first interaction was a bit. I don't think this is the type of person that I want to build a relationship with. And then after a second or third encounter, I realized, wow, like me, you just had a bad day.
A lot of times we really take a moment. It's almost like I heard someone say a picture is literally milliseconds of a second. And you could take a picture and create a whole story out of it, but you left out the other 23 point whatever hours. So when you take a snapshot of a person and then you're able to literally cut them out of your life. People do this in family relationships. I know people that don't talk, sister and brother, mother and father, and literally it's over something simple, like in the greater perspective of things. Seriously, when people, I'm not talking about detrimental behavior in terms of like abuse and those things. I'm talking about, we're mad because you made the potato salad and I always bring potato salad to Christmas and I will stop talking to you. What is that about? And I do feel like there's a lack of forgiveness a lot of times, and I'm guilty of it. Sometimes when I have a friend girl who kind of, I feel like a little, like you said, a little uneasy, a little dis-ease, when she come back, she on probation. She don't come back with full privileges because I'm afraid of being hurt. I don't know. Is that wrong?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I mean, now.
Actually, keep your eye on her because you never know. You never know.
Here's what
I don't know.
say.
That's just me.
I will never tell anyone, man, woman, or child, that they are wrong for creating boundaries. If you have been in a relationship with someone and it ended with you not feeling so great and they come back and you extend your kindness, but you extend it only with some boundaries, with some probation, I'm never going to say that's not okay. That's okay. You have to protect yourself in your heart.
Cool.
Don't be a fool. Just because you're forgiving doesn't mean you have to be a fool.
So we have to create the boundaries. I love it.
Absolutely.
And I love the fact, and I know she's a PhD candidate and she's doing a lot of research. And I gotta mention it. My girl gonna be a doctor. So I just want to make sure, like, you study African American women. Are there unique patterns in terms of women of color versus other women, you think, when it comes to friendships and friendship dynamic?
Well, I'll say this. There's more alike than different. Definitely. But there are some unique patterns when you talk about different things that women have dealt with generationally.
Absolutely.
And while it's not every woman's story, there is a story that is attached to certain people, certain colors, certain cultures of oppression, or having to fight harder or work a little bit more for different things. And that can create a different dynamic when you're building relationships.
Absolutely.
And for people who maybe don't have that experience, they may come across harsh or mean or intense or even aggressive.
I love it. So there is some difference historically in terms of some patterns that may be kind of repeated or things that are unhealthy or healthy. Not saying that they're all unhealthy, that may find their way into relationships even without us realizing it. So what are some of the best tips about creating healthy friendships with women and maintaining healthy friendships with women? What would you say?
Some of the best things you can do is allow people to form their own opinions about people. Don't feel like you have to be the gatekeeper of personalities and habits and traits to tell people, no, this is what Suzette is like. Allow them to experience her for themselves.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times what we experienced may be that our personalities just don't vibe.
Right.
It's just, you're just not my person.
Right. My
Like,
cup of tea, as we would say. I don't take tea
Not
with
my
her.
cup of tea. I don't like tea.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's okay.
I'm a coffee drinker. No, exactly. So
okay.
not being able to kind of prejudge for someone else, another human being based on your own experience. I love it, Terisha Lee. We are getting ready to sign off, but Terisha, leave them your contact information. How can they find you? What's your website? What's your handles? Instagram, Facebook, all of that.
You can find me at TerishaLee.com, on Facebook, Terisha Bennett Lee, and Instagram, Terisha_Lee.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I can't wait for you guys to come to the Speak Women's Empowerment Conference. Get your tickets now. Saturday, March 16th, Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Love uno. Suzette Speaks and Terisha Lee signing off. We'll see you next Saturday.